This just in, the Barbie movie has been released, $160 million box office, and every single Narnia fan should be weeping with sadness. You don't understand why? I'm going to tell you. Greta Gerwig came on board. She is the director of the film, and she put her creative vision into the project and brought it out. Now, there is a ton of press on this. However, I have seen this line and connection that is troubling me, and that is this Narnia thing. Greta Gerwig is the contracted director by Netflix to direct 2 of the Narnia movies coming up. Little Women was kind of her biggest film, and solidified her as a feminist voice. But more than that, the religiosity of filmmaking. And in an article that says Greta Gerwig has a religious worldview. She did an interview with Vogue in which she talked about writing the movie. And she said that before she made the movie, she wrote an abstract poem about Barbie. She wouldn't read the poem to Vogue, but astonishingly, she compared it to the Apostles' Creed, affirmation of certain Christian beliefs. She says, Kin was invented after Barbie to burnish Barbie's position in our eyes in the world. That kind of creation myth is the opposite of the creation myth in Genesis. She has a mindset that she is bringing to her storytelling, as every author does, every writer does, every filmmaker does. You bring your values, the things that you want to see propagated through that. Why is that a problem for Narnia? Because Narnia is written by C.S. Lewis, who's one of the greatest Christian authors in the history of creation. And C.S. Lewis was one that saw the value of myth to reinforce reality. And Greta Gerwig also believes in that. She sees the value in myth to reinforce a reality that she wants to see propagated and grown. But it happens to be demonically spouted, awful, anti-God garbage. So if people who want to see the author's intent represented well know that Netflix has hired, who goes on record saying that she values the anti-Genesis myths. If she takes Barbie, which is an American icon, a cultural icon, and redefine them to fit her ideology, and there's many people that are on board with her, praising her for that. There's an article in British Vogue. She talks about Barbie isn't a feminist manifesto, and that's okay. And that Greta Gerwig is very middle of the road, basically, because even in her feminist films, there was critique that these stories didn't do their justice in preaching the gospel of wokeism. And as she goes through this, there's this great paragraph that she writes, and I think that this encapsulates the woke movement. She says, the film serves as an introduction to these feminist concepts. To 23-year-old me, who has been engaging in political and feminist thought for quite a while now, none of this is radical. Barbie would have been everything. To understand that you don't always have to be perfect, and even people as conventionally beautiful as Margot Robbie feel self-conscious. For some, that is pretty major. Depth of this 23-year-old's vast experience of political and feminist thought is staggering. That is what's wrong. She hasn't had enough time to really think through real issues. This is the problem of youth. A 23-year-old girl who thinks that she has been engaging in feminist and political thought for quite a while is blinded by her own limited experience. And that is the problem with all things woke. As we go into Greta Gerwig taking the helm of Narnia, this is the mindset that's going to come to this. And my fear is that, again, a valued intellectual property, a valued story, myth of my childhood, my cultural identity, my religious identity, is going to be exploit for their own purposes. They're going to take it, they're going to devalue it and destroy its identity in order to serve their self-motivated desires. That, to me, is tragic.
This is exploitation.
Netflix may rethink Greta Gerwig being at the helm of this, but who knows? That would just be a perfect world for me. What do you guys think? Are you worried about Narnia? Did you go see Barbie and think it was harmless? There is a lot going on in the world of ideology and Hollywood. So tune in next time. We've got lots of videos like this. We thank you guys for liking, sharing, subscribing, sending this video out to others. Hopefully it was fun and encouraging and informative for you. God bless you. We'll see you next time.